Hello guys, welcome to VFix Technology. Today we're going to build a cart system into our Laravel project, and I'll show you how it's going to work. It's going to be a professional cart system which will have all the professional and advanced features. Let me show you the already created project first, then we will build it again from the scratch. So if you see the computer screen, you see just uh, a set of car items into our product page. These all are product catalogs. It has a image, write up, you can say name and a price. If I click on add to cart, it goes to the cart page and adds it. Let's do it over. I'm going to add two items. This item, again, it instantly redirects to the cart page. Let me do one more item. This one. Now we have two items in the cart. At the same time, I can increase the quantity or decrease the quantity. You see that it is changing the price on the real time. Let me decrease the quantity. It is making the effect at the same time. Moreover, I can remove an individual item like this, or maybe I can clear the entire cart. Let me add few more items for a better understanding. Let me add one more. Now, if I wanted to decrease one item, just remove one item from the cart is gone. If I wanted to wipe out the whole cart, clear all and it's gone. It's working as it's supposed to be. Let's go ahead and build the project from scratch. Let me close this dummy project. Let's do it from the very scratch. Let me open, let's come here. Let me open one of my folders where I practice these projects. Let's do it here. So here's the game plan. I'm going to go ahead and install a fresh Laravel. Let me get the name Laravel new cart 7 and none PHP unit. As of now, I am using PHP 8.2, so it might not install Laravel 11, which is available on today's date. However, it would install Laravel 10, and I will be using some of the cart package, which will work perfectly fine with Laravel 10. Let's see how it goes. Well, it might take some time. Bear with me. Almost done. I'm going to use SQLite so I don't have to create a separate database. And ready. Let's check it out. Let me go to the directory cart 7, and I'm going to say code, open into the VS Code, and let's see. I'm going to run the project here. Let's see how it looks like. There we go. So this is a brand new Laravel installation. Now, in order to create a cart, we would be using a package, which is a pretty famous one. If you make a Google search like Laravel cart package, it comes from the very top. DarrylDecode, that's the guy who made this package. Seems pretty famous when I did use in some of my projects, and it works smoothly. If you see 1300 stars on GitHub, which is a pretty reputed one. So let's go ahead and inject this package into our Laravel system. Let's start the installation. If you see the documentation, all we're supposed to do, just go ahead and insert the package. Perfect. Now we're supposed to add some of the configuration. I'm going to open my config file. Config supposed to be here, app. So we can add this provider into our configuration, which is DarrylDecode, and an alias name, so we can use the cart anywhere. Will be making an ease for us. And finally, it's an optional thing, but let's publish the configuration. There we go. It is done. That's all we were supposed to do, and the cart package is inserted into our Laravel. one more package. It might help us out to understand Laravel debug package. Let's use this one, debug bar. There we have it. And again, we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to have to inject into our providers. This thing is an optional thing I'm doing just to get you a glimpse so we can have a debug bar so I can show you how the cart is going through into the entire infrastructure. So you may or may not install it. That's optional thing. Let me do it now. Perfect. So let's start it. PHP artisan server. And no changes. All we got on the bottom, we can see the debug bar. Perfect. Now, I will go ahead and use one of the Bootstrap standard template. Nothing fancy, just a Bootstrap code. If you see, it's just the hard coded so far. It has a nav bar and few cards. That is pretty much it. So for this sake of this tutorial, I'm not teaching you the Bootstrap. So however, I will try to add into the source code or below of the video. You can figure out them. But let me copy this and come to the resources, views, welcome, paste. Let's check if the page changes of our default Laravel installation, and it does. Let me do one more page that is called cart page. So there are two pages. One is just the catalog page. Second is the cart page. So these two pages, standard Bootstrap template. I'll try to add it into the description of the video so you can figure out from there. Let me create one more named cart.blade.php. Done. Now let's start the movement into our Laravel infrastructure. So first thing first, let's add some products, some real products, which will help us out. So PHP artisan make model, let's name products. I'm going to pass the flag migration controller, and let's do the factory as well. Perfect. Now this command is a shorthand of creating the model and the controller and the factory all together. If you see database migration, and we supposed to have migration. Let's make it keep simple. String, I'm going to say name. I'm going to pass another string and another string. The second supposed to be, let's make it image. Third, let's make it price. Easy peasy. Let's migrate. PHP artisan migrate. Hope everyone is following me so far, because we're supposed to have the basic knowledge of Laravel if you are following this tutorial. I'm assuming you guys know how to create migration model and controller. That's pretty much it. If you're a beginner, that's fine. It should work. Just follow the instructions. If you see the situation, comment below and I'll try to help you out. Anyway, the migration is done. Now let's do the factory. So if you recall, I created the factory while doing the model. Now here we have the factory. Let me say name supposed to be, we're gonna use a fake name, fake. I'm gonna use a sentence function. Name is done. Let's say image. We're gonna use fake image URL. Done. Third, gonna be the price. So for price, let's use rand function of PHP from, let's say 99 to 999 works. And that's pretty much it. We have all three things. Let's run the seeder now. Come to the seeder, and I'm gonna say app models product and factory, the number, let's say we want 6 products. and use a create function that is all. I'm going to come here and run a quick command, php artisan database db seed, and it should work. And it did. Perfect. Now, if you wanted to see the product, let me show you how we can see them. Let me run the PHP artisan server. I'm going to show you in a real quick way. Let's come to the routes just to make sure we have inserted the product, because I've been using SQLite and it might not show without some extra resources in the real time, like we can see into PHP myadmin with the help of MySQL. Since I'm using SQLite, so let me show you the product in the real time. So here we have an anonymous function returning the standard blade template. So I'm going to say app models product all, and hopefully should work. And it does. Instead of using Google Chrome, I'm going to use Firefox, because Firefox has inbuilt JSON beautiful stuff, what they call. So if we print the JSON data into Firefox, it shows in a beautiful way like this. So as I said, we have installed, migrated 6 products through our factory, and it's been seeded. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, perfect, 6. Let's check it out now. I'm going to go ahead and let's keep this page as it is, or let me say products. I'm going to call the products app, or let me do this way. Let's make it more sophisticated. Use app models products. Now products all, and we're supposed to have all the products. Let's return a view which is going to be welcome page. Welcome. And I'm going to use compact function. Let's pass this product into our template products. That is all. Now we're supposed to have the static template. Let's make this into dynamic. We're gonna jump into the welcome blade. Let's go welcome. So card 4444. Let me remove all of them. Let's see what it looks like now. Supposed to have 1 only. Yes. Now we're going to run the loop of products on this item. So here's the row, container, column. We will run a for each loop here. Add for each products as, let's make it products. Paste. Now for image, I'm going to say product image should work. For this, we're going to say product name. That's the price. Let's make it product price. If everything is good, we're supposed to have 6 items in the loop, and here we have exactly what we got. So these are the 6 items in the loop. One more quick function I would like to introduce you. Recently, this feature was added into Laravel, so we could show the price more gently. Let me teach you what I meant. We can use a function called number, then function currency with it, and I'm going to pass the variable product, then price, then I'm going to say the currency. I'm going to say INR, Indian rupees, since I'm from India, or you can say USD. If you don't pass anything, it'll show USD, but still, if you want pass USD, it'll show USD, if you know what I mean. Let's keep it USD for the sake of simplicity of this tutorial. Yes, now we have price in USD. So these all items are ready. Now we have to make the arrangement. So if we click on add to cart, it's supposed to add this item, this specific item into the cart and redirects the page to the cart page. Make sense? It will when I show you how it does. So let us go ahead and create a controller, PHP artisan make controller. I'm going to name cart controller. Done. Let's serve it. Now into our cart controller, let's start just fetching the standard template first. See how it works. App, HTTP controller, cart controller. I'm going to say public function cart. And let's return a page which we just added named cart. That is it. All we're supposed to do now, just go ahead and add into the routes, the cart page. So route supposed to be a get route, and let's take it cart as a URL. Then I'm going to say cart controller is a class and use a function named cart. And I'm going to name it to cart. Let's call the cart controller on the top, use app HTTP controllers and cart controller. That is it. Let's check it out if it works. If it works, it's supposed to throw the static page, and it does. Perfect. Now we have the first page, the catalog page, the product page is ready, and that is working fine. And matter of fact, this is dynamic. We have injected 6 products into our database through the factory, the real products. And for the product, we have only 3 information: an image, a name, and the price. That is it. And the home page is showing our catalogs of the product. Now, we are supposed to make an arrangement. If we click on add to cart on any item, it's supposed to be making the movement. That's the whole point of this video, creating a cart functionality. So let us check out the package, how it works. I'm going to go ahead and, oh, matter of fact, I will add this package link into the video description as well, so you can figure out by yourself as well. Do not forget to check the documentation. It will help you out a lot. Trust me, the documentation is very neat and clean. If you go through them, you will have the entire understanding. So let's see how it works. It says how we can add a product into the cart. Matter of fact, you can add with the session of user ID. As of now, I'm not gonna store into the user data. I will make it an anonymous request. Let's see how it works. So let's create a function first. Or maybe I'm gonna come to cart controller. Let's make the arrangement public function add cart, and I'm going to pass product ID as a parameter, which we'll be getting from the URL. And I would say product equal to product, that's our model find or fail function, and the ID gonna be product ID. And through this, we will get this item. Now let's check the documentation. We have the product. Now for a row ID, it wanted a unique ID. However, I will make it product ID. Let me show you what I meant. Now we can copy this code and we'll make some movement. Let's not use the session ID of the user because I'm not logged in. I wanted to have the functionality onto my website that the user not supposed to log in order to create the cart. However, you have the complete control. You can go through the documentation and you can make it accordingly. For the sake of simplicity of this video, let's keep it easy peasy. So cart facade, since we have added the alias name, we can use this cart. The function inbuilt add, it's an array. The ID gonna be the product ID. So there's no row. We will make it product ID, which will come from the URL. I'll pass the product ID there. Name gonna be, let's make it product name. I have it short P here. Let's make it. Price gonna be product price. The default quantity, let's make it 1. Associated model, let's keep it product. And there are no attributions. Well, you could pass a lot of attributions. If you see the documentation, a product could have, let me show you what I meant. You could pass the attribution like size, color, and blah, 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 blah. There are so many options. You can check into the documentation, like if you see the attribution. Attributes is an array. It could be have a size, could have a color. And since from this package, we are not getting an image option. However, in the attribute, I'm going to pass a custom thing, image. Let me see how it works. Array. Let's keep it. Attribute. And I'm going to say image. And let us keep product image. Fair enough. Now, so far we have created the functionality of adding an item to the cart. If we get a request here, we're going to get the product ID into this variable and we will pass the details of variable into this cart functionality, the package from which we got this whole things. Now let's return. I'm going to redirect and let's use route function. I'm going to say cart page. Let's pass a message. I'm going to key success and let's item has been added to the cart. Ignore the typo error. Now, I hope this should work. Let's check it out. Now we have to make the arrangement into the cart page so we could see the success message. Let's see. Go to the cart page. As of now, the cart page is the static template. Let's see cart. And we have item has been added to the cart, which is not dynamic. Let's make it dynamic now. I'm on the cart page and this one, let's make it dynamic. I'm going to copy if session has success key and if I'm going to paste this and success session success. Let me see if this is right. Let's make a quick Google search. Show session success message Laravel. Yeah, it should work. It should work. It should work. Get message. So I'm going to say get success. Perfect. Okay, so this thing's supposed to be dynamic now. If I refresh the page, it won't show since the session does not have the message in the session. Now, let's check it out how it goes. So now we're supposed to add the button functionality where it should call that action. Come to the cart page. Where's add to cart? My bad. Welcome page. Welcome. Now on the welcome page, if you see that the cart add cart is just static so far. Let's make it dynamic. So what I'm going to do, I will be adding a function, the route add the cart. That's the route name. I will be creating one. So far we did not create this one, and I'm going to pass a product ID. Now it should work. Now if we go to the routes, there's no route like this. Let's make one route. Let's make it get request, add cart, and here we're going to pass the ID product ID, and this thing will go to the controller and they will get the ID. Let us make cart controller class add cart function, and I'm going to name this route add dot cart. Hopefully it should work. Let's check it out. I'm going to refresh it. Let's cross the fingers. Add to cart, and we have the first error. Let's see. Class product not found. Okay, I app model product. Cart controller. Yes, it is not there. Use app models, then product. Now let's give a shot. Perfect. It does work. It came to the cart page and the session has been started, and we have the session success message. Now, the second step gonna be the whole work gonna be done on the cart page. The main page, product page, supposed to have all the product details, which is already done. Once we click on it, it passes the data to the cart page. Now the entire algorithm will be on the cart page. Now in this phase, we will go ahead and loop through the data of cart items here and add the functionality of decrease, increase, remove, and clear cart and show the total amount. Let's dive into it. Let's go ahead and check the documentation first. How do I get the cart? Uses. Okay, that is here. That's pretty simple. So let's come to the cart controller, and yeah, this one. I'm gonna pass items variable, get the cart, get content function, and we have the access of the cart. And the data is into the session. I'll show you in a minute. Items. Let me show you what I meant. The data is into the session. If you see the session, here we have the data of the cards. You can see the ID. The ID is also the product ID, array ID, and that's the product ID too. Name, price, quantity, and image too. Even it has the conditions. You can pass the tags and maybe a discount coupon or something. So many features. Now let's go ahead and run the loop. Now we have the items variable available on the cart page. Let's figure out the row where it's looping. This one, let me format it. That's the row which is printing the data. If I remove the row, let me see how it looks like. It shows nothing. Now let's run the for each loop. For each items as item, and let's start with the image. Now keep in mind one extra thing here. If you see that item, now most of you are going to think I will make it image, but not, it won't work like this. If I show you, the image did not come. Since we are passing the image, if you see this controller here, we are passing the through image through the attribute. Here we don't have an option to pass the image. So this package, we can pass the attribute, anything in the attribute, just give the key and the values. So we want to access the attributes, we have to pass this attribute chain method. So let's dive into it. So I'm going to say attributes, then image. Hopefully it should work, and it did work. We have the image. Let's make the title and the price dynamic. I'm going to say item name, then number, currency, will print product, my bad, item, price. Let's check it out. And it did work. This function I already told you can use, make it more make it more visual to the user. It will show into the form of currency. You can play around with it. So we have the dynamic image of the card from the session, dynamic title, and the price. Here I'm going to put the quantity and the total price. We'll figure out the total price later on. Quantity, it shows 1. Let me remove this if that's the 1. Yes, it is the 1. Now I'm going to say item quantity, and it works. My bad. Let me see. Did I make a typo error or something? Yes, I did. I apologize. Now we have the quantity. Now here, the price of this specific cart item. So if I increase the quantity, here we have the individual price. It's going to show the total price of this specific product. So it's simple. You can multiply the quantity with the price. Let me make it happen for you now. It is right here. So I'm going to say item quantity into item price. And yes, it is working. It's one quantity. Now, first part is done. We have the card data dynamic. However, we did not add the functionality to add or remove or decrease or increase, but our dynamic card is coming. Let me add this one. Now we have 2. Let's add one more. This one, and we have 3. One little thing, I would do that right now. Let me get the total price. So if we see the documentation right here, uses, update, get total, simple. We're going to come to the part right here, onto our controller, into the cart controller, iSide total, just a variable, and get the cart total. Easy. And I'm going to pass into my blade, and it should have the cart total. All I'm supposed to do is just print the total amount. Let me see, where's the total one. Hope so far it is making sense. If anyone, it's easy and a little bit confusing both. So if anyone is having a hard time, feel free comment, and I will try to help you out. Don't worry. I'm going to go ahead and print total, and let's see if it does work. And it did work. 828, 858, 719, and the total is 2405. Now, again, I can make the same thing. Number supposed to be currency, and it is total, and let's make it USD. And there we are. Now it's more attractive and it's more visual for the user. Let's go ahead. The next task is to make the arrangement to increase the quantity. Pretty simple. If you see the documentation, how we can increase the quantity. I think I remember. Let me show you. Let's give a shot if it works. Public function add quantity. I'm going to pass product ID as a parameter, and I'm going to say cart update product. That's the inbuilt feature of the package update. And I'm going to say product ID and an array of quantity, if I'm right. That's the key which we're going to use just to make sure there's no typo error. And I'll say +1. That is pretty much it. Let's see if it works. Return back, and I'm going to say with success, and let's say let's pass a message. Quantity has been increased. Hope it should work. Now we're supposed to create a route for this function in order to work this functionality. So let us come to the web route get, let's make it get request, add quantity, and again we're going to pass the product ID. So we are passing the product ID, so it'll understand for which product we are increasing the quantity. Cart controller, it's a class, and the method is add quantity, and I'm going to pass a name, add quantity. Pretty much it. Let's make sure the right name, add quantity. Perfect. It should work. Let's come to the cart page now. As of now, if I click on it, it's not working. It won't work because it's static. So we have to make the arrangement. So it should, once I click on this plus icon, it should call that function, and it should go to the route add.quantity. Let's make it happen. Okay. Where is plus icon on the card page? Yes, and it's an A tag. So I'm going to say route add quantity, and I'll pass the parameter of product ID. Here we're supposed to have item ID. Now, if you see that I have passed the data of this item to this route, and it gets here the ID, and it calls this class, this method, and then it comes to the controller. It gets the product ID and it updates that specific product ID quantity. Let us check it out. Let's see what happens. So increase cart controller, my bad, a typo error. Perfect. It is talking our language. If you see that quantity has been increased. Something is, yes, it is here. My bad. It's not sorting. However, we may work on it, but that's the item. If I make it 3, there's a space issue. Let me fix it. Cart and adding 2. Let me see, 3. Okay, now there was some space issue. Yes, it is working now. Now I'm going to go ahead and instantly create 3 more function, decrease, remove, and clear cart, and then we are done. So I'm going to go ahead again quickly. I'll come to the cart and I'll say public function decrease quantity. You can name whatever you want. Product ID is the parameter. I'll say cart update, and here's the product ID, and it is an array which has a key of quantity, and this time we will say -1. That is it, no difference. And I'm gonna say return back, and let's pass a message with, I'm gonna say success item quantity has been decreased. Ignore the typo, my bad. I'm trying to make it more short and simple. Hope you understand that. And we're good now. Now again, we're supposed to create a web, a route, and add the route onto the A tag. Okay, let's do it. Gonna come to the web, route, gonna be a get. I'm typing everything just to make sure I'm not making no shortcuts, no copy paste, just to make you understand how it works. Decrease quantity is the URL, and we are passing product ID, supposed to have a cart controller class, and decrease quantity was a function if I'm not wrong, and the name gonna be decrease dot quantity. Let's see if it works. Now we have to add the route onto this minus sign. So if we go to the cart page, where's the minus sign? Here we have, it's a tag on the href. I'll add the route, and it is going to be decrease quantity, and we will pass the item ID here. So this will take the product ID, goes to the web, it will have the product ID, and it hits to the controller of this class and this method, and it works. Let's check it out if it works. Refresh. Now I'm going to go ahead and decrease the quantity, and perfectly fine. Item quantity has been decreased. Now if I increase, item quantity has been increased. It refreshes the page in the real time and it changes the data. If I decrease, this prices changes, and decrease this. This is working perfectly fine. So what we have done so far, we have created the functionality of adding the data to the cart, and within the cart, we can increase or decrease the quantity. It is changing the price. We are multiplying the item price into item quantity, and we are seeing the final price of that specific product. Now, Let's go ahead and create the functionality of remove a specific item from the cart. Let's see how it works. Let me see if I remember. Public function remove item. I'm going to say product ID. And again, cart said, and remove product ID. Let's see if it works. Let me make sure it is the right. Uses remove. Yes, that's right. I believe this is how it should work. Let's go ahead and check it out. So we're gonna return back with a success message. Item has been removed from the cart. Again, now we have the function created. All we're supposed to do, create the route. Route get, let's say, remove item, pass the product ID, and cart controller class function was, let me see, remove item. And I'm going to say, name it, remove dot item. Perfect. So we did create the functionality. Now we have the route. All we're supposed to do on this remove button, add the routes. So come to the cart page, find the remove button, and let me add the dynamic route on it. Route, remove item, and we're going to pass the product ID, which is item ID. Hopefully it should work. Let's check it out. I'm going to say remove. Made a typo error, my bad. Where is it? It's right here. Let's refresh and try again. Perfect. Everything is going very smoothly. You see that? It's pretty simple. It's been a very long time when I used this package last time. Everything is in the documentation. Just take the reference and I'm pretty much sure you can figure out everything. The last part I'm going to show you, I don't want it to make a whole long video. It's supposed to be a short video, how you can make the arrangement of a cart functionality into your Laravel project. Now, if you see, this thing is left, clear all. In one go, if I wanted to wipe out the whole cart items, you can click on clear all and it's supposed to have update, subtotal, uses, wipe out everything. How do I remove everything? Update, remove. Let's see, where is it? Cart subtotal, get total, clear. Yes, that's the one. It's cart clear, period. That's more than easy. Now let's create the functionality again. Public function clear, let's say clear cart. And this time we do not need any attributions within it. All we're gonna say clear cart. And let's return a message. Return back with a success message. There is no item in your cart. You can write anything. This is just for your understanding. Now we did create the function. Let's make the route get clears cart controller class, and the function was clear. Let me get the name is clear too. Name clear. We did create the function. We did create the route. Now, all we're supposed to do, add the route on this clear all button. Let's go to the card page. Where is clear all? It is right here. So I'm going to say route clear, and I think so it should work. Let's refresh. We did miss something. Let me see. Card controller clear does not exist. Let me see where's the problem. Plus card controller is fine. Function is clear. Let me see. Oh, my bad. It was clear card. I apologize. Now let's give a shot. There we go. Everything is done. Everything is working, whatever I said while showing you the real demo when we created the last project. Let me show it one more time how it works. So we are on the catalog page on the home page. It has the real products, which we inserted through the Laravel factory method. I added one item to the cart. It redirects to the cart page and shows a success message. I'm going to add another item to the cart, and let me add one more item to the cart. We have 3 items to the cart. We have the total 1978. So I want this item to 2 quantity, it increases the price. This item to 3 quantity, it increases the price. This item to 2 quantity, you see that it's working on the real time. At the same time, we are getting the success message. Very simple and super easy. Let me decrease the quantity, and it is working perfectly fine. So I did change my mind. Now I don't want this item anymore. I'm going to go ahead, click on remove, and this specific art item is gone. Now, if you wanted to go ahead and make payment, and you can add your logic accordingly, send it to the payment gateway or whatever, you can save the data accordingly. So far, cart functionality was just to get the item to the cart, increase, decrease quantity, add or remove item to the cart, and maybe clear entire cart like this in one go. Hopefully this little video, or maybe a longer video, I would say, did make sense for you. Feel free comment, and guys, please subscribe if you did watch the video, if it helped you, and I would love to see your comments, maybe help you out. Have a good one. Cheers. Bye for now.